Hertz is behind thousands of innocent people being arrested and even spending months in jail, all because the company falsely accused them of stealing the cars they rented and fully paid for. And worse, Hertz denied this practice for years.
I was thrown to the ground, I was arrested, and I was locked up for over a week.
There's this NASA employee driving a Hertz SUV. Florida police officers held him at gunpoint. Why? Because 2 days earlier, Hertz had filed a theft report, claiming the vehicle NASA had rented for him was stolen.
This is a number that Hertz was trying to protect from coming out. A judge recently ruled that they have to release this information.
How can someone that's done absolutely nothing wrong be thrown in jail just because one of America's largest rental car companies can't get its act together?
Hertz destroyed more than just my life. It affected my families, my kids.
Anyone from Hertz taken the time to apologize?
Not that we know of.
Hertz is one of the big three rental car companies in the US and holds over a third of the market share. Hertz's empire also spans Dollar Rent-A-Car, Firefly, and Thrifty. Hertz is not immune to controversy, with endless stories of overbooking or overcharging their customers. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. More worryingly, Hertz has a record of using the police as their personal repo company and initiating false theft reports.
Hertz is actually using the police department as a repo company and the court system as a collection company.
Imagine spending months planning a family vacation only to end up being arrested at the airport in front of your family for something you didn't do in a state you've never even stepped foot in. That's exactly what happened to Drew Caesar and changed his life forever. Drew was stopped by customs officers at the airport on his way to Mexico with his family. The officers asked him if he was aware that he had a warrant out for his arrest. At first, Drew thought they were joking. But it turns out Hertz had wanted him arrested for stealing a rental car in Georgia. And yet, Drew had never been to Georgia or even rented a car from Hertz. Drew spent more than 24 hours in jail before his lawyer was able to show he was in Colorado the day Hertz said the car was stolen. And only then did prosecutors finally dismiss the charges. Incredibly, some spent much longer in jail.
7 months is a long time to sit in jail for something that you did not do.
For years, Hertz tried to keep stories like this quiet.
Hertz also says that these claims are meritless.
It's not one case, it's not two cases, it's hundreds.
And after media reports started making these incidents public, Hertz initially responded that vehicles were only reported stolen after exhaustive attempts to reach the customer. In 2022, Hertz got a new CEO who finally admitted that some customers had been affected by what he initially called a glitch. Maddening when you think that someone can get falsely charged with a felony, go to prison, and lose their job, house, and career, all because of an apparent glitch?
My doorbell rings, and I'm fearful that it's the cops coming to get me.
This is my worst nightmare that I'm living, and I'm going to have nothing when I get out of here. Everything I worked so hard for is just going to be thrown away.
And the insane behavior by Hertz doesn't stop there. As settlement amounts from lawsuits began piling up, Hertz tried to weasel out of them during their bankruptcy proceedings following the pandemic. Yet, fast forward to today, Hertz is no longer in bankruptcy. The victims of Hertz kept fighting for justice through all of this. And in one settlement, Hertz was ordered to pay $168 million to customers it falsely accused of stealing its cars. One lawsuit even detailed how in all the cases, after learning the customer had been falsely arrested at gunpoint, Hertz showed little concern that the customer had been placed in a horrifying situation with substantial risk for serious physical harm.
They said I stole the car, had proof I didn't, which was bank statements, receipts from Hertz that were emailed to me.
The rental car industry in America operates like an oligopoly, with Hertz, Enterprise, and Avis ruling the kingdom. Enterprise owns National and Alamo, Hertz, Dollar and Thrifty, and Avis owns Budget. This lack of competition leads to this sort of unchecked behavior, where large corporations can get away with destroying lives as the normal cost of doing business. Hertz's major settlement with its victims was a positive step in the right direction, but with very little regulation and oversight, has meaningful change actually taken place? A press release by Hertz following the $168 million settlement stated Hertz does not expect the resolution of these claims to have a material impact on its capital allocation plans. And they also seemingly bragged about how their insurance was likely going to pick up the bill for the settlement. After all this coming out, not a single director at Hertz has been charged for the thousands of people that the company falsely accused of theft over the years. Reality is, not everyone can afford an expensive lawyer, and there are still people suffering out there today, all because of Hertz. Hertz defends itself by saying these sort of incidents only happen in a fraction of its rentals. But why does Hertz and its executives think that it's okay for a rental car company to recklessly ruin people's lives with little to no meaningful consequence? Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next episode.